daughter for 15 minutes to give her birthday presents. And, which, for the record, my dad has completely changed, and maybe this has all happened, part of it, so Elise can be in the best autism program around with my dad, but also so my dad can have an opportunity, I guess, to get it right with a little girl. I don't know, regardless, he's an amazing papa. My daughter is very well cared for. In the interim, I made the selfless decision because I was kind of given an ultimatum, and I wanted what's best for my daughter. I didn't want her in foster care, to sign over my rights, which I've regretted since the day I did it. But then the CEO pulls me aside after I make the decision to move in with my fiance up here in the UP for a full-time clinical position. I had to turn it down because of availability. I couldn't be a case. He offered me 3 positions that day: case manager, women's resource manager, and I think something about in the tech department. I couldn't remember, maybe overseeing. But so I had to say no to all these, and it didn't feel right. But him and I worked out an agreement where, knowing I don't drive, I would facilitate these clinical workshops with the men, which I had my fears of, but it's been nothing but a blessing, and I love it. And work as a behavioral tech in the afternoon. And that's what I do today. I've since gotten married to my wife, Jamie. We got married November 12th, 2019, which my mom and my stepdad, Randy, were present for. My dad still doesn't approve because it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, but I don't need his approval for that. I still have this unhealthy desire for his approval, but I probably won't ever get it. I help other people today. When I go downstate next month, I'll have 14 months sober. I'm on a development plan to get my CADC, Certified Alcohol and Drug Counseling, and it's amazing what sobriety has brought into my life. The one thing that I do not have in my life today is my daughter. I'm not allowed to talk to her. My dad won't answer my calls or text. But I definitely am not going to drink over that. I'll tell you that much. It's not an option. My sister's pregnant, and I hope she's doing well. We don't speak. She has her own struggles, and unfortunately, there's been a lot of damage in the past. It takes time to fix that wreckage. However, I do a podcast, this right here, with Corey, my best friend. And it's been nothing but a blessing in itself. It's part of my therapy. I also blog. I used to do it daily. I started that May 30th, which I incorporate a gratitude list of 10 things. But I do it about 4 days a week, and that in itself is healing. I'm not where I thought I would be, but I'm so far from where I was. If anybody would have told me at 36 years old I'd be living in the UP, running men's workshops in a residential rehab, married to an amazingly beautiful woman who just doesn't quit with the kindness, reminding me of how worthy I am, spoiling me. Not that that's what it's all about, but that's her love language. And I have a beautiful relationship with my mom, and I'm hoping to improve mine with my father and my sister. And I believe that my God wants me to be happy, and he knows exactly what that will take, and I know it's not going to happen in my time, but one day my daughter and I will be reunited and we'll be whole again. I have my struggles and challenges just like anybody else, and I get through them with the help of others, and helping others is my main thing. Like when people ask me, like, what program do you work? Will you be my sponsor? Like, I was inspired by this woman, Joyce Fetro, and she said to do what works for you. And what works for me, bottom line, at first I was like, I do a podcast, I blog, I work at a treatment center, I go to meet. No, I help people. I help other people. Bottom line, keep it simple. I just try to be the best me I can be, and I look at relationships like investments. Not that I think I'm better than anybody, but they're investments in my happiness and my future. You are the company that you keep. And unfortunately, sometimes we grow apart. And either you're growing or you're not. And I still have love for these people, but I'm not going to put myself in those positions ever again. I know all the things that I did wrong. Trust me, I learned from trial and error, and that's what I use today to encourage strength, to encourage change. And hopefully, this will only continue, God willing. So I know I probably left a bunch of stuff out, but that's my story in a nutshell. Have a good night.
Thanks for listening to Broken to Beautiful. For more episodes and for more shows, go to 217